percentage of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
barriers is important.
yeah, but I find that the human nature is as such that if they find that you're tender, they'll ride
Oh,
that
they'll suck
donkey
you
till the
dry.
back breaks.
They'll suck you dry if you're not careful.
Man, like no
Yeah.
thought, no I that again surprises me.
Yeah.
but I
Barriers
digress.
and boundaries.
Mhm. Well, we're at our last two questions here, and these two have to do with impact on family. How, if at all, does you dealing with the different types of people with trauma? How do you think about ministry, and how do you think about family life, like your family life and your ministry?
Some people they can't. Speaking of wives or husbands and family members, some people they cannot give you the grace or space to pursue your ministry because they want to own you. Like King David, his wife was Saul, King Saul's daughter, and she despised him as he danced before the Lord, and she herself thereafter was barren because she couldn't rejoice in his worship and service unto God. And then you've got Job's wife who told him to curse God and die. So not every woman or spouse is supportive of a man in ministry, sadly. So some of them get jealous and they feel the man is focusing more on the ministry than me or their business than me. So, but Pastor Vinny taught us, he goes, God and the calling are one and the same. Jesus said you can't follow me or love me, and you you can't serve two masters. You gotta love me more than your family. He said you gotta love me or hate your, almost feels like you're hating your own family, your brothers or mothers or fathers or wife, and pursue me in the gospel. Otherwise, you're not worthy of me.
So you say the ministry comes first.
Well, I wouldn't say the ministry comes first because some people make a ministry an idol, and some people make ministry as a business and elevate it to a place that God never intended it to be. Because true ministry is really not as difficult and agonizing as some people make it.
It's God's.
If the flow of the Holy Spirit's there and doing it, it will not be a yoke that you cannot bear. It's an easy and light burden. So really, true ministry is flowing by the Spirit, and it's not such an agonizing process. So it's we who make it that. And just because the people want you there in church every day to answer the phone call, God never called you to do that. You can outsource that or find some staff members to do a lot of these things, and then you can focus on God in prayer and balance your life and be happy. So it takes time to figure out how to balance your life and family and all of these things, but some spouses can be dictatorial or sometimes insecure, and they don't know how to support and serve and rejoice in a man of God's success, or sometimes he's got a platform and a following, and that could cause an issue and arouse insecurities and competition. But if you have a good spouse who understands who you are in God and what you're called to do, they'll support you and not compete with you. Some spouses are competitive, and it's really sad. But you just have to know how to manage that, and every family is different. Some people are easier to get along with than others. But I remember my ex-wife, when I was in Fiji and we were on a honeymoon, I was asked, to my surprise, to speak at a church, and we only were there for 2 hours, and she held that in her heart for years. Wow. I can't believe you spoke at a church on our honeymoon. I was like, well, I didn't realize I elevated you to God in my life. So in her mind, I was not even allowed to go to church. I was supposed to be with her for, it was a 2-week honeymoon. One week
so that caused an issue in the marriage.
Well, that a little bit, but that revealed her heart is what it did.
Wow.
So, but I don't, I'm not going to bow to that. But nonetheless, that just revealed the person's heart. Like just going to church for 2 hours over a 2-week period offended her.
Well, but looking back on that,
as Jesus said in Matthew 11 verse 6, "Blessed are they who are not offended in me." So there's a lot of people who want you to sell out, and they want to be your God, and they think because you're married to them that they can dictate how you're going to live your life and what you're going to do, and they get a little bit bossy and dictatorial, and God's not going to bless that. So some people are, you got to take time to get to know who you're going to be marrying and living with. Otherwise, you could be in for a long ride of trouble and heartache and pain.